Hello and welcome back to Firewall. My hair is a little messy right now because I took a shower and let it air dry, and I'll brush it later after it's all dry. My cat's trying to get out. Anyway, it is June 15th, and you all know what that means. True, but also vacations, because it's summer. I graduated. I am no longer a high schooler, so vacations and summer, and we are going to be taking a trip, and it is to a place I have never been to. Can you guess where we're going? I'll give you like a couple guesses to guess where we're going. Just random. I won't judge, I promise. It is so hot. If you really can't guess, or maybe you did, winner, haggis dinner. We are going to the Isle of Skye. Well, first we're going to England and London, and I think somewhere around there. Then we're heading to Scotland, and then we're traveling on over to Skye. So excited, so very excited. We're leaving in 3 days, and you know what I've done? Not packed. First, I'm gonna clean, and then I'm going to take everything back out and pack. Part 1, cleaning. My room has gone through fluctuations of sort of messy to very messy and even very, very messy for probably at least 7 years. What I mean is that even when it is all neat and tidy, there is about 1 or 2 boxes of things like art supplies or miscellaneous stuff I can never seem to put away. But I really am trying to crack down on it this year. However, this is the end of the school year, so when I go through stressful times like exam season or just something stressful that I have to put all my energy into, I tend to leave my stuff out more, and after that thing, or like the exam season or something, then I will do a big cleanup, and now this is part of that. I was also making a lot of gifts for my teachers and friends and left the materials out, working my way through my room with only a few distractions, including, for some reason, a diversion of rearranging my whole bookshelf. I also decorated my coin jar because as long as I was doing my bookshelf, I might as well decorate the jar to look cuter because it goes on the bookshelf. I also decided it was time to hang the art on my wall in a new way since I got all of the art back that I made in school this year. I am now organizing my art stuff into the shelf that I moved in here to replace a shelf about 1/3 to 1/2 the size of this, so it is a really big and helpful difference to have something bigger. Okay, so we are finally at the stage where I can start gathering stuff to pack. So now I'm going to just get all the clothes on my list, plus the ones that I am choosing between. All right, let's go. Let's get packing. Packing like this. Like that? Alright, I'm going to attempt to get the rest of all this cleaned up in half an hour because I actually have literally so much left to do. Here it is. So this is my packing list for Washington. This is my packing list for now. Part 2 is packing. Over a few days, I have been collecting the things that I was going to bring by tossing them onto a pile in my suitcase. Now I am picking out a book to bring. I'm not bringing these, but this is my favorite Celtic book, and this is an English book that my dad loves, which I have yet to read. Technically, I have just started reading Ruin and Rising, but I wanted a more fun and light summer read. Red, White, and Royal Blue was one of the thinnest books that I have that I haven't read yet, and it seemed like a fun summer read, plus my friend really loves it. They look like little turtles. Now I am picking a journal to bring. I don't journal much, but I thought it would be good to keep up with a paper scrapbook along the way. I like the cover of this one and the flower details, but I don't want one with lines in it in case I want to sketch. This one is cute, but too thick. And this one seemed a little too thin, but according to my math, front and back pages, I should have 80 pages to write on. Now I'm going through and erasing all of the old-fashioned illustrations I have from middle school. It was mostly a log of what outfits I could wear, so I could just flip through the book and see some of my favorite outfits and pick what to wear that day. There's me in 8th grade. Next I'm assembling the toiletries, but I couldn't seem to find my travel hairbrush. I actually just found it 2 days ago, so July 17th. It looks like a little makeup compact, but on the inside there's a mirror and a pop-out hairbrush. I then transferred this old hotel body wash to a different container as not to waste it before filling the container with conditioner. Then I decorated the scrapbook. Yes, I was on a tight schedule, but I just wanted to do this as a little fun activity. Then I tested out my new fold-up shopping bag and packed it away. I practiced packing in these packing cubes that my mom got me, and I find them very helpful actually for organizing. This is a lot tighter than I thought it was going to be. Now here is all of the stuff that I am bringing. I then put the backpack strap attachment on that my dad put on for our suitcases because I thought it would be better to carry our bags like backpacks since we'll be moving a lot. It was not very supportive and very stiff, but after some adjusting it was a bit better. Here is what I would look like with all of my stuff. Yes, I look a bit silly. And alas, it is finally time to pack away my camera. Hello, this one I normally film on. It is much taller than this. This is how high it goes, and I'll show you for reference. This is the tallest that this tripod will go. Oops, right here. So the other one, at its tallest, goes about like to here or so. It's a little skinnier, it's lighter, it is more compact, and it fits better in the bag. I think I'm gonna disassemble this. I'm gonna download these videos into my computer, and I won't be editing them until I get back. Pack it away. So the next time you see out of this camera will be when we are in Europe. So hello, we're in the Highlands in the sky. Let me tell you how we got here. Part 3, leaving. Now technically or not technically, I sort of have been to Scotland. My parents spent their second honeymoon there after their wedding, and by that time they were already pregnant with me, so in some sort of way I will be returning. My family doesn't often take big trips like this, especially just the 4 of us. We usually meet up with some other cousins and hang out in the summer and do stuff together, but this is probably our first big trip as a household family. Washington was a big trip, but it was to one location where we stayed with relatives. This one we'll be moving around a lot, not to mention leaving the country. My dad has been anticipating going back to England ever since he left when he was a teenager. He was born in the United States and left home when he was 17 to backpack across England and make music. He has a lot of cool adventure stories to tell. Also, this is a picture I have taken for Washington last year, and then this trip this year, of my pets in case this is the last time I ever see them alive. It is a very unreasonable anxiety, but just in case something goes wrong, I don't think anything will go wrong, but on the slight chance it does, I think I will be glad that I took this picture. On that happy note, we are going to the airport. My dad and I explored around the shops and bookstores. When my family got food, I wasn't really hungry and just wanted something lighter than a burger, like fruit or a salad. So my brother went with me to this farmer vending machine where I got a very yummy pasta salad. Don't get me wrong, I love milkshakes, but I didn't want to risk having a heavy meal and feeling sick on the plane.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to have you on board.
As we get ready for takeoff, please settle in and have a wonderful flight. Thank you for flying Delta.
On the plane, I got to watch takeoff, which I really loved. And at night, the stars were all around us. I couldn't record because it didn't show up well, but the stars were on all sides, above and below, and it was pretty magical. Part 4, Arrival and Exploration. We had a breakfast that I enjoyed but my family didn't, an egg and cheese English muffin sandwich. And then we headed to the airport and everything, and with lots of confusion and asking for directions we got to the train station. With more hurrying about, we finally got on a train. At long last, we ended up on a taxi with a very friendly driver who was actually one of the royal security. We arrived at the hotel and walked around a bit. We explored a beautiful church with amazing stained glass. Then after getting a quick rest at the hotel, we went to Hyde Park. For some reason, I really wanted to grab a pigeon and hold it like a water bottle. It seemed like it would be very satisfying, but of course I didn't. To our surprise, we saw some parrots as well. That night, we had a lovely dinner at the Paddington with a mysterious stranger from the past. Just kidding, someone one of my parents knew when they were younger. Back in the hotel, my brother and I did some room rearranging and went to bed. In the morning, I made some hot water and made myself some Earl Grey because I'm trying to learn the difference between that and black tea. I think it is sweeter. I then made my brother some coffee, got dressed, and washed some clothes in the sink before continuing to get ready. I then proceeded to work on the scrapbook I brought along. For graduation, my parents got me a Polaroid-like camera, which I absolutely love and took lots of pictures with, so I'm adding those along the way. Then after an English breakfast, we headed out to catch a bus. The tour was very nice. It was hot in London, so it was relaxing not doing so much walking. They give you earbuds and you can tune into 6 channels. Channel 1 was English and the rest had some other languages, including I think Italian, French, Spanish, possibly German, and then channel 6 was just music. The commentary was pre-recorded and a sort of banter between a lady who sounded a bit like Kunk on Earth, or Sandy from Great British Bake Off, and some guy. There were some bad jokes, but overall it was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was informative and fun. We got on at stop 4 and stayed until past stop 4 to get to a certain stop we wanted, so we did get to hear the whole thing. I took my earphones off for most of the stuff we had already heard so I could hear London as it was. One of the biggest things I was surprised about in London and then in Edinburgh was the amount of pride they had in June. I live in a small town where the occasional house has a pride flag and I think a shop or two has a celebration, but the contrast was obvious. The rainbows made the city even more colorful. The architecture was beautiful. It was very interesting to see stark differences between the modern architecture and the old architecture. It was kind of strange to think about how all these people every day just walk around these beautiful works of art like they are normal buildings. I mean, I bet they appreciate them, but to Londoners these things must be pretty normal. It was a bit odd to see the ornate spires and steeples scattered amongst the often rectangular and rather plain modern buildings. Not to say the modern buildings are unattractive, they're just a lot less obviously detailed than the old ones, so it was pretty cool to see that juxtaposition. Big Ben was actually a bit of a surprise for me. Yes, on a tour of London, who would think they wouldn't see Big Ben? I guess all the years of anticipation made it feel like some distant, almighty thing that would cause for a lot more honorable preparation than just getting on a bus and rounding the corner. Anyway, there it is, and I took a lot of pictures. It's so beautiful. Also, it looks like it's made of Lego because of the different color blocks it is made of. Also, I'm sorry to say, but some parts of London smelled really bad, and we later asked our relatives who we saw later, and he said it's because cities like London have old Victorian sewer systems, so sometimes we did get a very strong smell of sewage. We passed stop 4 and continued through the stuff we already saw until we got to Gymshark. It was my brother's #1 goal to go to Gymshark on this trip. My brother shopped and met some cool employees. And then we headed over to the 7-story toy store to find a bathroom. We looked around for a bit and it was very interesting to look at because there was so much stuff. And then we got some very nice ice cream that they had and got on a taxi and headed home. Finally, we went for a lovely dinner. We went to this beautiful restaurant where my mom had gotten us reservations and we got the best seat in the house in my opinion. The table with the balcony. Here are some other cool rooms that there are. It was a short walk back to the hotel, so on the way back, we looked around some beautiful mews, which are places where they used to keep horses, but now they're houses in side streets. After we got home, my dad and I went out to explore the nighttime London stores. They were all pretty copy-paste though. Stores only about 3 buildings away from each other had the exact same item-for-item products, but I suppose that's what a lot of tourists like. They also seem to have a strange interest in the Kardashians, including cutouts of Kim K's head and several of the royals to wear as masks. We then went back to the hotel to go to bed and spend our last full day in London. I hope you enjoyed the tour of some of the city. I know it's not really my usual content, but I hope you enjoyed it and were entertained. In the next video, we'll be seeing some of London by boat, exploring the tower, and then getting ready to leave the city and head to the English countryside. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye for now from far away. Thanks for coming along. Let's get going. You wanna check out my cool band-aid? It stars. Bye.